the reality. Language shapes our world and our existence. Yes friends, we are talking about the structuralism. Here in this video, we will be discussing about the key features, functions of structuralism as well as its key thinkers and their concepts. So, let's go ahead. Structuralism is the first literary theory which mainly talks about structure, sign and symbols. If we talk about structures, so structures are the self-contained unity. If we talk about the introduction of structuralism, so we find that structuralism in Europe developed in early 1900s mainly in France, and the term structuralism in social science first used by the French anthropologist Claude Lévi-Strauss. The origin of structuralism came with the works of Ferdinand de Saussure on linguistics, along with the linguistics of the Prague and the Moscow schools. Prague Linguistic School, established in 1926, and Moscow Schools of Linguistics, established in early than the Prague 1915. A linguist believes that if readers don't understand the structure or sign, so they can misread the text. If we talk about the Ferdinand de Saussure and the father of structuralism and the father of modern imagination. Yes, Ferdinand de Saussure, whose lifespan is 1857 to 1913. He is a Swiss linguist known as the father of modern linguistics. He is the founder of semiotics, semiology, together with Charles Sanders Peirce. Friends, semiotics means a study of signs and symbols is known as semiotics. Saussure is also known as the father of modern imagination. His linguistic theory is mainly based on the sign, symbols and significations. For what he has given several concepts of language, so let's discuss. He says that language forms the reality. Language shapes us rather than we shape the reality. Language constitutes our world and our existence. And language comes only from context. He has given the approach for language. There are two approaches of language, diachronic and synchronic. If we talk about diachronic approach of language, so it's an old approach. It is an etymological approach. Etymological means study of the root of the word. Diachronic approach focuses on the development of and evaluation of language through history. Now, moving towards the next approach of language, which is synchronic approach. So, it is a modern approach. It is contextual. It focuses language at present time without taking its history into account. Saussure focuses that how the meaning of the words in any language are established and maintained. So, he has given the three models of language, which we say three models of Saussure. The first is arbitrary, and second is relational, third is constitutional. He says that language is arbitrary and language is relational or language is constitutional. So friends, what is an arbitrary? Arbitrary means man-made. Saussure says that the language is made by man and language is arbitrary. Language has two important components, which are sound and sign. Sound and sign are also arbitrary because there is no connection between sound and sign. He says that whatever we speak, that is arbitrary because the sign and symbols and sound has no connection between them. Whatever we speak, that does not signify that particular object. By continuous speaking that word or that language, we have come to know about, or we have tried to signify that particular object. So therefore, language is arbitrary. If we talk about relational, so he says that language is relational because language is related to words and words are related to another words. We say that we find the meaning of any word until it relates us. For example, if we try to know about the meaning of illustration, so the illustration means instance. If we do not know the meaning of instance, so we will try to know the easiest meaning of the instance, which is example. Now, we come to know that the easiest meaning of illustration is instance, and if we do not know these two words or the meaning of these two words, so we have to find the another easiest meaning of these two words, which is example. So by relating these words into another word is called relational. So therefore, Saussure says that language is relational. Language is related to other language, or words are related to other words. And third approach is constitutional. Before the model of Saussure, we used to say, or we used to accept that reality forms the language, which was an old approach. But after the models of Saussure, after the linguistic theory of Saussure, today the new approach has come, and he says that language forms the reality. Language forms the reality is a new approach of language. Whatever the languages are, that forms the reality. Further, he says, or he talks about sign, which relates to signifier and signified. We can also say that sign is equal to signifier upon signified. Now, what is sign, signifier and signified? We will understand it. Sign is arbitrary. There is no natural relation between a signifier. Sign or symbols are made by man, and there is no natural sign, and there is no natural relation between a signifier to a sign. Sign is constituted by signifier and signified because the word has no meaning. The word has no meaning itself. It has meant, or we have taken the meaning of any word by sign, and signs are arbitrary. That is also made by man. By continue speaking any word, by continue speaking any language, we relate, or we have come to relate that particular object to that sound. Now, what is signifier? Signifier is the thing that gives meaning. It can be any word or image. Signifier is a fixed, it cannot be changed. We can say that any word of language or any images are signifier. Word cannot be changed or images cannot be changed also. So, signifier is fixed. Suppose if we say that if a person speaks mango, so mango is a word, it will be said signifier. The word cannot be changed. Mango, the word cannot be changed. So this word is signifier. And signified is a mental concept. Signified is what is evoked in mind. It is already exist in mind. It is flexible, comes from previous knowledge or experience of the object. Suppose the person speaks mango to a man, or the concept behind that word or the logic, the image of that word, particularly in the mind of a person, is called signified. This man speaks mango and the man understands the meaning of that word mango by sign or symbol of that. So the sign or symbol comes in our mind, that is signified. Or the word, particularly the word, is signifier, and the symbol or sign are signified. So therefore we have said here in signs are arbitrary. There is no natural relation between signifier, because signs are also made by man, and the word or the language may differ in different places. The language or the word may differ in different places, or the meaning of that word also may differ in several languages. So therefore signifier or signified made or makes sign. So friends, if we talk about another concept of Saussure, which is langue, he also talks about langue and parole. By this diagram, we will try to understand what is langue and parole. Friends, it becomes easy whenever we talk, whenever we learn anything, any concept with the help of diagram or chart. So it is our mental state that by any chart or diagram we understand quick. So we will try to understand what is langue. Langue is a language. It means language. It is a shared system of rules. It is a language system. We can say that langue is a signifier. Why can we say langue is a signifier? Because langue or language has a set system of rules. In early diagram, we said that signifier is a fixed. It cannot be changed. It can be any word, or it can be any image. So as language has set system of rules, that same way signifier also has fixed, or signifier is also fixed. It cannot be changed. It also has some set system of rules. And signifier makes sign. If we talk about parole, what is parole? Friends, parole means speaking. It is the actual utterance of the speaker. It is an individual uses. And we can say that parole signifies signified. How can we say parole is signified? Signified means whatever the concept evoked in our mind. Means the speaking. It is a flexible approach. It can be changed or it comes from previous knowledge or experience. So, parole means speaking. It is the actual utterance of the speaker. And signified means meaning. If we talk about some famous linguists, so here we have tried to give some famous names of the linguistic. Of course, Ferdinand de Saussure, who has given the concept of linguistic science. Roman Jakobson. Roman Jakobson is another linguist who talks about distinctive features. Yes, Edward Sapir. Edward Sapir has given the concept of linguistic relativity. Paul Graves talks about cooperative principle. Of course, Noam Chomsky. Noam Chomsky is one of the great figure in linguistics of the present time. He has given the concept of universal grammar, which is also very famous. Eve Clark. Eve Clark has given the first language acquisition. And the last of this chart is Steven Pinker. Steven Pinker talks about popularizing linguistics. Thank you very much, friends. If you like this video, please share, comment and like. Thank you.